Hey, welcome to Bold and Embodied Yoga. My name is Kiara and I am a trauma informed yoga instructor, and I'll be teaching a Vinyasa flow class. For today's class, you're just going to need two blocks, and you're more than welcome to bring anything else that will give you comfort during this class. As a trauma informed yoga instructor, I am only here as a guide. Everything is optional, and I'll try to give as many options as possible. Or if you know any variations, you can always take that variation as well. So we can get started. We're going to start off in our child's pose position. We're going to start by spreading our knees wide to the mat, extending our arms out long, bringing our head to connect with the mat, and just coming into our first child pose of today. Really taking time to connect with your body, connect with your breath, breathe into any of those tight spaces in your body that you feel may need a little bit more breath. Continuing to inhale and exhale. Maybe try extending your inhales just as long as your exhale. And maybe with every breath, you see how it feels to sink your hips a little bit closer to the back of your heels. Spread your arms a little bit longer. As you come to your final exhale, you're going to begin to lift your right arm toward the sky as you thread the needle underneath the left arm, bringing your right cheek toward the mat. Taking a few breaths here, continuing to breathe, continuing to connect with your body and your breath. As you come to your final exhale, you're going to begin to lift your right arm back up to the sky and bring it down to meet your left, stretching out a little bit. And then we're going to go to the other side. We're going to begin to lift our left arm up to the sky this time as we thread the needle underneath our right arm, bringing our left cheek toward the mat. Breathing here. Continuing to breathe. Continuing to notice what your body is feeling during this time. As you come to your final exhale, you're going to begin to bring your left arm back up toward the sky, then bring it back down to meet your right arm, stretching it out. And then from this pose, we're going to begin to come up, and we're going to come up to a tabletop position. And from this tabletop, you're welcome to curl your toes, or you can keep the tops of your feet flat toward the mat, whichever one you may like to do. And we're going to start by doing some cat and cows. You're going to inhale to cow, exhale, dome the spine to cat. Inhale, cow, exhale, cat. Just continuing to go with your own flow, your own breath, listening to your body, being as dramatic as possible in these cat and cows, going as slow or as fast as you like. Connecting with your breath, connecting with your body throughout these movements. Then from here, you can do some body circles if you feel you'd like to do that at this time. Again, being dramatic as possible. And if you did opt to do body circles, make sure you go the opposite way as well for balance. Really stretching out that spine here, stretching out your wrists, stretching out your tops of your feet if you flexed them. And from this pose, we're going to come back into a neutral tabletop. And from here, we're going to push our hips up and back to downward facing dog. In our first downward dog of the day, maybe you have a generous spin in your knees here. Maybe you notice that your heels aren't connecting to the ground quite yet. Whatever it is, just noticing without judging. Maybe you see how it feels with every exhale to try to get your chest a little bit closer to the tops of your thighs. Try to get your heels a little bit closer toward the mat. From here, you're going to begin to bring a generous spin in your knees here as you look up to step toward forward fold. In this forward fold, you're letting your hands touch the mat. You have a generous bend in your knees here, letting the crown of your head shine toward the mat. Continue to breathe as you slowly rise up to standing. Coming up as slow as possible. It's no race, no rush. And from this pose, we're going to go into our sun salutations, and we're going to do it twice. The first time slow, and the second time we're going to go with a little bit of a flow with breath to movement. So starting off in Tadasana pose, the palms of your hand are shining toward the front of your body. Your fingers are spread wide. Finding grounding in our feet, relaxing our shoulders, down our back. We're going to begin to inhale as we lift our arms up toward extended mountain pose. Exhale as we grab our left wrist with our right hand and bring our left foot behind our right foot as we side bend toward the right side, breathing into our left side of our body, stretching out that side, taking a few breaths here. Then releasing, coming back into standing into extended mountain pose. As we inhale, this time grabbing our right wrist with our left hand and bringing our right foot on the side of our left side as we side bend toward the left this time. Taking a few breaths here. I'm turning your way so you can see me. Continuing to breathe. And then from here, we're going to go back into our forward fold position. Maybe you grab the back of your ankles. Maybe you continue to have a generous bend in your knees here, just letting the crown of your head shine toward the mat. Fingertips can touch the mat, or if you like to grab opposite elbows, you can as well. Doing whatever you need to do at this time. If you grab opposite elbows, you can release. Inhale up into halfway lift. Hands come to shins or to the mat. As you exhale, place your hands on the mat as you step back into a high plank position. Building up some heat only for a moment, continuing to breathe. You can relax your knees down toward the mat. And we're going to do knees, chest, chin. So you can begin to bend your elbows as you bring your chest and your chin toward the mat. Inhale up into baby cobra. As you exhale, you're going to push back to a downward facing dog. Noticing what you're feeling at this time. Notice the heat that's building up as we're going through Sun Salutation A. From here, you can begin to bend your knees here. Look up toward the top of your hands as you step up toward the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, hands come to shins. As you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms reach up toward the sky. As you exhale, come back to standing into Tadasana. So now that we have done our salutation slow, we're going to begin again by going with a little bit of a flow, doing breath to movement here. And you may be a little bit slower, or you may be a little bit faster than me. Just listening to your body, listening to your breath, going at your own pace. You're going to start by standing in Tadasana. Inhale, lift your arms up into extended mountain pose. As you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back and take your vinyasa, or you can do knees, chest, chin. Inhale, upward facing dog or baby cobra. As you exhale, push your hips up and back toward downward facing dog. And we're going to take 5 breaths here. Noticing how your body feels. Noticing the difference between maybe your first downward dog of the day and now this one. Continuing to breathe. You're going to look up toward your top of your mat as you step toward the top of the mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach your arms up toward the sky. As you exhale, bring your hands down toward your body. And now that we're finished our Sun Salutation A, we can take some water if you'd like, maybe take a little bit of a break here, and then we're going to get into some more movement. I honestly don't remember what I was talking about during this break, y'all, but I hope that y'all are taking care of yourselves and rejuvenating y'all body during this little pause. All right, y'all, so we're going to get back to it. We're going to start by coming to standing in our Tadasana pose. And we're going to inhale, lift our arms up high toward the sky. As we exhale, sit back into a chair pose. Your arms are actively engaged here. The palms of your hand are facing each other. If you look down, maybe you see your toes. If you don't, maybe try sending your knees back a little bit. Continuing to breathe here. Maybe with every exhale, you see how it feels to sink a little bit deeper into this chair pose. And begin bringing your hands together, coming into prayer hands. And we're going to start to twist toward our right side. So our left elbow should be on the outside of our right knee. And I turned your way so you can see me. Just breathing here. And from here, we're going to begin to put our weight into our right foot as we begin to bring our left foot and slide it behind us as we end up in this revolved crescent lunge. You're on the ball of that back left foot, and the right front foot still have a bend in the knee. Knee and ankle is aligned. If you have a hard time with your balance here, maybe you can try seeing how it feels to bring your left arm toward the mat and then bring your right arm up toward the sky. For me, it helps if I look up toward the ceiling with balance, but some people also have a better time with looking down toward the ground if that helps you with your balance as well. Then from here, we're going to bring our arms up until we end up in this warrior two pose. Our back foot is aligned with the mat. It's parallel to the mat. And our front foot, which should be our right, still has a generous bend in the knee. And your knee and your ankle should be aligned. Your arms should be aligned. Your hips are open. Inhale, we're going to reverse our warrior. Our left hand is going to come on the back of our left leg as we reach our right arm toward the sky, reaching up, maintaining the breath. And then we're going to come up toward the front into our extended side angle. And this time, our right arm is on our right leg, and we're bending toward the front of our body, and our left arm is reaching up and over us. Looking up toward that left hand here. Continuing to breathe. Your feet are in the same position. And so from here, you can grab your block, and we're going to play in our half moon here. So your feet are going to stay in the same position as it was for warrior two and reverse and extended side angle. But you're welcome to walk your feet a little bit closer together if that helps with getting into this pose as well. This will be a great hip opener for you, and it's just about trying and playing in the pose. It's not about getting it perfect. If you fall out, you can come right back in. So with your block, I like to walk my block a little bit more in front of my foot. And then I'm going to begin to bring my left arm up toward the sky. And then slowly begin to bring my left foot up as I come into this half moon. Again, just playing around. If you fall out, come right back into it. And then from this pose, if you like to try playing with taking a bind here, you can try that as well. You can come back into your half moon. Then from here, begin to slowly bend that left leg, and you can grab, if you're able to grab the top of your foot, keeping your chest open. And then with control, you can release and bring your foot back down to the mat. Coming back into warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior, just as a transition. As you exhale, cartwheel your hands down toward the mat. Knees, chest, chin, or take your vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog or baby cobra. As you exhale, downward facing dog. Continuing to breathe here. Noticing how one side of your body feels compared to the other. As you feel ready, begin to bend your knees here. As you look up toward the top of your mat, you can walk, step, or hop up toward your hands into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach your arms back up toward the sky. As you exhale, sitting back into the chair pose. As we get ready to work our opposite side. Continuing to breathe. From here, bring your hands toward prayer hands as you bring it toward your chest. This time, we're going to twist toward the left side, so our right elbow should be on the outside of our left knee. Our hands are stacked on top of each other. You're welcome to look down toward the mat, or if you want to look up toward the sky. And I'm just going to turn on the opposite side of my mat so you can see me whenever I open up in this twist. So it's similar how we did to the other side. We're going to begin to put our weight into our left foot this time as we slide our right foot back, continuing to twist here. Again, you're more than welcome to bring your right arm to the mat as you lift your left arm up. If that gives you a little bit more support with this revolved crescent lunge. Then from here, we're going to begin to open up toward our right side as we come into our warrior two pose. So our arms come out to a T. Our left foot is bent. Our back leg, which is our right one, is parallel toward the mat. Inhale to reverse warrior, bringing your right arm to the back of your right leg as you lift your left arm up toward the sky. Maintaining the bend in that front leg. Remember, your feet is staying the same. As you exhale, come into an extended side angle. Looking up toward your right hand. And then from this pose, we're going to go into our half moon again. So if you have your block, you can bring it near you or in front of you. So as you grab the block, remembering that your feet is similar in the same position, you're welcome to bring your feet a little bit closer together if this makes this pose more accessible for you. And just playing in this pose, beginning to lift the left leg up high toward the sky as you open up your hips here. Maybe you notice that one side of your body is a little bit more balanced than the other side. And then from here, if you want to try to get into that bind here, you can also try as well, even if it is only for a moment. Just playing in here, playing in this pose. Remember that yoga is not so serious. It's also about play, letting your inner child come out. So with control, bringing your right leg back down to the mat. Inhale, reverse warrior. Just as a transition, as you exhale, cartwheel your hands down toward the mat and take your vinyasa. Or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, upward facing dog, or baby cobra as you exhale, downward facing dog. Maybe noticing how both sides of your body feel now that we have stretched out both sides. As you feel ready, bring a generous bend in your knees here as you look up toward your hands. And you can walk, step, or hop toward the top of your mat as you inhale to halfway lift, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slowly begin to come back into standing. And so we're going to do that same routine all over again, similar how we did to sun salutation. We started off slow, and then this time we're going to go a little bit faster, and it's going to be breath to movement. Again, going with at your own pace, your own breath, and your own movement. It may look way different from my flow, my breath, and my movement. Just doing it, going with the flow without judgment. Coming back into standing into Tadasana. Inhale, reach your arms up toward the sky. As you exhale, sit back toward the chair. Inhale, bring your hands toward heart center, twisting toward the right side. As you exhale, begin to walk your left leg back into a revolved crescent lunge. Inhale, bring your arms out to a T as you come into a warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Begin to bring your block as you play in your half moon for a few breaths here. Continuing to breathe, maintaining the breath. Slowly coming back into warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior, just as a transition as you cartwheel your hands down and take your vinyasa or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, upward facing dog or baby cobra. As you exhale, send your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Breathing here, maintaining the breath. Inhale, look up toward the top of your hands as you bend your knees here. Walk, step, or hop toward the top of your mat. As you exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bring your arms back up toward the sky as you sit back into your chair and exhale. Bringing your hands toward heart center, this time twisting toward the left side. As you slowly begin to walk your right leg back this time. Inhale up into your warrior two. Exhaling. Inhale, reverse warrior. As you exhale, extended side angle. Then from here again, we're going to play with half moon on the opposite side. Maintaining the breath here. If you fall out, you can always come back in. Then with control, bringing your leg back down toward the mat as you end up back in warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the mat, step back and take your vinyasa or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, upward facing dog or baby cobra. As you exhale, downward facing dog. That was a lot of movement, y'all, and it was fast. So breathing here, maintaining the breath. Inhale as you begin to bend your knees here. Look up toward the top of your hand. Walk, step, or hop toward the top of the mat. As you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach your arms up toward the sky. As you exhale, bring your arms down and show grace to yourself for going with the flow and doing breath to movement. Welcome to take some water here. Take a little bit of a break as before we begin to ground down. Doing our ground down, we're going to do a few back bends. So we're going to start off on our knees. So bring your knees to the mat. And our first back bend we're going to do is camel. So if you have any type of blocks, I recommend bringing them close to you. I'll show you how to do camel with blocks and then also without blocks. So first I'll show you how to do it without blocks. If you already know how to do camel, you're also welcome to just get into this pose. If camel is new to you, you start off on your knees and we're gonna start with one side first. So we're gonna grab our left ankle with our left hand. And then we're gonna begin to open up our chest and start to reach behind us toward the back of the room, opening up our throat chakra, breathing here, really getting into this back bend, maintaining the breath. And then as you feel ready, you can begin to slowly come back, rise up until you're on your knees. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side as well. So similar how you did with the left side, we're going to grab our right ankle with our right hand and begin to open up your chest by reaching your left arm back toward the back of the room. The crown of the head is down toward the mat. Chest is open. And then as you feel ready, you can slowly start to come back up to standing on your knees. And then now we are going to do it with blocks. If you like this variation, you can stay doing the variation without blocks, but I'll show you also how to do it with blocks. Similar to how we did, but instead we're going to grab the block this time with our left arm, reaching our right arm to open our chest toward the back of the room. And then we're going to switch sides with a little bit of a flow. Our right arm reaches toward the right block. Our left arm reaches up toward the sky, then coming back. So now we're going to go into a full camel here. And again, I'll show you to do it with blocks and then also without. So first with blocks, you're going to reach your hands on the blocks as you open up your chest and your throat in this full camel breathing here. Continuing to breathe. Then coming back up to standing on your knees. And then without blocks, you'll grab your ankles this time. You're welcome to flex your toes if that gives a little bit more accessibility. And you're going to grab the back of your ankles and open up your chest. Letting your head aim toward the mat. Then coming back up to standing on your knees. And then we're going to sit on the back of our heels here, putting our hands on our knees. And then we're just going to round the spine. Our chin comes to our chest. just countering that pose, countering that back bend that we did here. If you want to do some body circles, some spinal rolls, whatever feels comfortable, whatever you feel your body may need at this time. Next, we'll be making our way toward our back. So come to sitting on your bottom, then laying, bringing your mat back to the mat with your knees still bent. So your heels should be on the mat. And then from here, we're just going to windshield wiper our feet here, or our knees here. So letting our knees go from one side to the other, massaging out that lower back. Eventually coming into a neutral pose with your knees bent, your heels on the mat, your fingertips maybe slightly brushing the back of your heels. And from here, we're going to go into a bridge pose. So in the bridge pose, you'll be pushing up through your hips. So you're going to take a big inhale. And as you exhale, push up through your hips, using your arms, your shoulders, maybe your chin is into your chest. If you want to try taking a bind here by bringing your hands together underneath you, clasping them together, and maybe pushing up more through your shoulders. Squeezing your thighs. If you clasp your hand, you can unclasp your hand at this time, placing your hands back in that same position it started in. And then slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, start to come back down to the mat. Then from here, windshield wipering your feet. Again, massaging out that spine. Noticing all the work that your body just did. And then we're going to do that 2 more times with an option to take a wheel here. Or you can do bridge 2 more times. If you decided that you want to try wheel, you're welcome to do so. I think I am going to do wheel these last 2 times. So I start off by spreading my feet a little bit wider than the mat. And maybe you can see how it feels in your body. And then from there, I bring my hands behind my shoulders. So my fingertips should be maybe slightly brushing the back of my shoulders. Then similar how we did in bridge, you're going to begin to push up through your hips. And as you push up through your hips, you begin to also push up through your chest. Really breathing here. Pushing up, and then as you come down, slowly come down again how we did in bridge, vertebrae by vertebrae. Windshield wipering your knees again. Maybe bringing your knees into your chest. Then bringing your feet back down to the ground. And we're going to do bridge or wheel once more. So finding your position, inhaling, pushing your hips up as you exhale, coming into a bridge or a wheel pose as you maintain the breath. Then as you feel ready, slowly coming down, again, vertebrae by vertebrae, and we're going to windshield wiper our feet or our knees one more time. You're welcome to bring your knees into your chest if that feels good on your body, and kind of massage out the back of your back or that lower spine. Seeing what your body feels it needs at this time. Bringing your feet back down to the mat if they weren't there already. And from here, we're going to go into a reclined butterfly. So you're going to begin by bringing your heels together and slowly begin to let your knees go drift the opposite way. Really getting into this hip opener here. In this pose, we're going to go into a light meditation. So I recommend, if you have any blocks or maybe pillows, and placing it underneath your thighs. It helps, for me, it helps the pose not be so intense. And it helps me a little bit with grounding down and focusing on the meditation and not so much on how intense the pose is. As we start to come into our meditation, we're going to start by closing your eyes if they're not already closed. Perhaps seeing how it feels to do a body scan and notice where in your body you feel any tightness, you feel any stress. Noticing those places and maybe breathing a little bit of space, a little bit of easiness into those spots. As we begin to focus more on our breath, maybe noticing where in your body you need to relax more and adjusting your body as needed. Coming to your face, if you find yourself clenching your jaw. Putting some space in between your teeth. Maybe so much so that your mouth opens just a little. Removing your tongue from the roof of your mouth and letting it relax down in your mouth. If you notice any tensions in your face, maybe in your eyebrows, just letting your face relax, letting your eyes relax. Breathing. Noticing the quality of your breath. Noticing without judging, without fixing. Just letting it be as is. And as we sink a little bit deeper into this meditation, if you find your mind wandering, try coming back into present moment, whether it's the sound of my voice or maybe the sound of something that is in your space. Maybe you can see how it feels to focus on your breath. Or focus on your grounding, maybe feeling your body touching the mat, feeling your thighs that's on blocks or pillows. Whatever that, or whatever it may be, Just finding a way to stay into present moment and to stay grounded and to stay centered. I have this affirmation that I found to be helpful, and you're welcome to repeat after me or repeat it in your head. Breathing these words into your body, into your conscious. I am grounded, centered, stable. I will not worry about things I cannot control. I release worst case scenario thinking. I free myself from fear of the unknown. With every breath I take, I am releasing worrying. I inhale strength, exhale fear. I am calm. As those words sink into your body, into your heart space, you may find yourself feeling more calmer, more at peace. Whatever you're feeling at this time, just noticing it in your body and just letting it be. As we go into Shavasana, you're more than welcome to stay in this pose, or if you want to let your body lay all the way out, stretching out your legs, you can do so as well. At this time, I will let you relax in Shavasana, and when it is time, I will cue you out. As we begin to move out of Shavasana, you'll start first by taking gentle movements with your body, maybe wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers, maybe taking some movements in the body, bending your knees slightly. And as you feel ready, you'll take a full body stretch here, lifting your arms over your head, stretching out your legs, extending your body out, taking whatever movement you need. Then rolling over to either side, curling up into a fetal pose, using your bicep as a pillow. With your eyes still closed, you can begin to make your way into a seated position. It's no rush, it's no race. Coming to a seated position whenever you feel ready. And as you come into your seated position, you can bring your hands to heart center, just giving grace to yourself, to your body, for showing up on your mat today. No matter what was going on off the mat, you still came and showed up for yourself. I hope this flow felt good for your body, and I appreciate you for letting me guide you today. And remember to continue to show up for yourself so that you're able to show up for others. Thank you so much. Thank y'all so much for watching my first YouTube video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and more content coming soon. Thank y'all so much. Bye.